Hello everyone, welcome back to Business Central Musings. We continue in 2025 with a new lesson for MB-820, a new episode of Let's Pass MB-820, and this episode is a normal succession of after we learned about tables and table extensions. We move on today to learn about pages in Business Central. And pages are, the user interface for Business Central. Hello viewer. I know there are many viewers coming here and missing on new videos I post because they did not subscribe. If you're looking to master the MB-820 exam and stay on top of the latest developments in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, you're in the right place. To subscribe is really easy. Just open up YouTube and in the search type Business Central Musings. And here it is. This is my channel. All you have to do is click subscribe. Join our community of learners today. Let's navigate through Business Central together and ace that MB-820 exam. Subscribe now. But as I said, we did the tables, we did table extensions, and today lesson is going to be about working with pages in Business Central. And yeah, I suggest you guys go through the. I suggest reading, of course, doing this lesson. What we're going to follow. This format, but actually we're gonna go over a OneNote file with my notes about MB-820 and working with pages in Business Central. So let's get going. We have on the left hand side we have a Visual Studio Code because we really want to see how that page is designed, how the pages are designed in the editor, in the Visual Studio Code. And on the middle we have the OneNote file I prepared for this lesson. And we start with obviously with generic things about the architecture of a Business Central page. And you can see from here that the page has properties, and we have also triggers, and then we have controls, and each control has properties and triggers and actions in turn have properties and triggers. So if I was to look at, let's say we take a page from the base application, and we can see, for example, here we have the page 5 currencies. We've got here properties at the page level, additional search terms. If you want to find the currencies page, not necessarily typing currencies, but typing maybe foreign currencies, monetary page, exchange page, forex overview, money page, cash page, trade currencies, financial unit page, transaction money, all these terms specified in the additional search terms and separated by comma. If you type those terms in the global search, you would get as a result the currencies page, which you could open from once it's found by the system. Application area, another property that's at the page level. Card page ID is a card page, so again another page. We're going to learn later that pages can have different types, but the idea is that because this is a list page, when we click on one record or on a row on the list page, when we click on a link that's on a record part of the list page, we will get the currency card page. So when you're going into the details of each line level record, you get a card type page for currencies. Source table, that's another property that tells us what is the table, what is the database entity that we're trying to expose with this list page. And user usage category, that's another property for a page. And then we have the layout, and we have a few areas under the layout. We have the content area and we have the fact box area. And when you look at the content area, basically you have, because this is a list page, we have a repeater which will designate all the fields that are visible on a record. And on the right hand side we will have an area for fact boxes, which is a designated area for details about that record. This is a currency list page, but if we were to have let's say a customers page, which is a list with customers, in the fact box area we could have details about the customer, maybe customer details, total sales orders, total sales invoices, credit memos, and so on. So that would be a card part. A fact box is a card part, and it is on under controls, under layout, under area fact boxes. So it will be somewhere in the OneNote file. We would be somewhere under controls. And then we have the actions part of the page, and we can have new actions on these 4 areas of the actions. We have a processing area, we have a reporting, navigation, and promoted areas for actions. And as you can see here, we also have triggers. Under properties we have triggers. Well, architecturally the triggers are towards the end of defining a page, and we have different triggers: on after get record, on after get current record, on open page, and then we've got global variables and a few global methods and local methods. This one is a local method or internal methods. Let's go now into the page types, and we see here we have different type of pages. We can have a card page used with every master table to input data. So a list page, it will display a list of records for a specific entity. Like customers list will display a list of customers. Each customer is on one record, and usually list pages are not editable. We're gonna see soon in the right hand side here, most often than not lists are read-only. Cards though are displayed when we are on a list page and we click on one record from the list page, and we basically get a more detailed view of a record that was initially in a list. And cards are for editing. It's an editable form. So many times I received questions of how can I open customer card in view mode. This is because I understand the reason. Sometimes people want to prevent some users from editing information, but this is not controlled because we via us controlling the way we open the phone, but the desired way of controlling how we open a card or a list is through permission sets. So give only read permissions for some users, if you don't want them to modify an entity. But the pattern is a list page is displayed by default in view mode, and the card page is displayed by default in edit mode. That's why lists are for viewing, so they're open in view mode, and cards are for editing, so they are displayed in edit mode. Then we have another type of pages document, and any sales order, invoice, credit memo, it is a document page. And design wise, the document page embrace the best of each of those previous types of card and lists. Combines the card type of information. We have, for example, on a sales order, we have the upper part, the general fast tab. It gives us the opportunity to edit data related to the customer, maybe, or a vendor if it's a purchase order. And also we have a detailed area where we have a list of sales lines. So we're mixing the card type of page with the list type of page in a document type of page. Card parts and list parts, if we were to look to this screenshot here, we see the lines. They are defined as a list part, so there is a sub page within this sales order, and that sub page is of list part. And on the fact box area, we see the card parts. We can have queues or we can have a fact box. They both are card parts. Then we have pages of type role center and headline part. Role centers are special pages that are first pages to load for a user when they log in. And you can assign the role center page type to a role. If you search for roles profiles page, you can assign the page ID of a page of type role center to a specific role, and then when you go to my settings, you can assign that specific role to a user. Once he logs in, he's gonna be presented with this role center page. And as part of this role center page, we've got, you see in green here, this is the navigation menu. And the navigation menu is when you're designing the page, you have to add all these menus: finance, journals, cash management, cost accounting, into the area sections. And then under the navigation menu, we have the navigation bar, which is standalone links to different pages. And those pages are defined in the navigation bar, and you can add these pages in VS Code in the area embedding. And I have a screenshot here For example, for the navigation menu, the one in green, the first green link, it shows us the navigation menu. It's a group where you have an action general journal. As you can see here, like if I click on finance, first finance is a group, is defined as a group, and then inside we have different links, different actions. The navigation bar, we see the screen in the screenshot here. It's in the area embedding, and you can have all these links to chart of accounts, bank of accounts, just like we see it here, chart of accounts, bank accounts, and that takes care of these first two lines here, the navigation bar and the navigation menu. Actually, navigation menu first, navigation bar second. And then is the headline part, which is in itself another page, which is of type headline part. And this is the accountant role center. So we can have a quick look here. Let's make Visual Studio Code a little bit bigger so we can watch what's under pages. Let's search for accountant. Accountant role center, which is page 9027. And after we pass the using section, we see the area role center. We have the headline RC account. This is it starts with the headline part, but if we were to look for area sections, this is the navigation menu, which we saw here, the green, the first green, the navigation menu. It's in the area sections, and then we have the area embedding. Of course, we need to go to the sections area, but area embedding has all the actions, and yeah, so that's kind of how you navigate a role center page. And then we have also navigate pages. And why would we use navigate pages? It's good for example, if you have if you are an ISV and right after your users install the app, maybe you want the users to be driven through setting up the app. So you would design a navigate page where you can go with the users, lead the users through setting the page, maybe with a setup page and maybe some other setups that are needed. So we have an example here, page 8886. So if we go to page 8886 under pages, maybe it's not 8886. Let's look at or maybe it's in systems pages, email account wizard. So it's in system application, but we see here that the page type is navigate page, and we see a bunch of other properties, and also we have permissions. But yeah, so that's an example of how a navigate page is designed. Let's go to page properties. So obviously we need an ID for the page and the name, so that's as soon as you ended with the snippet t-page list or t-page once we type t-page, we can see we have a type API list. We can have a page of type role center. So depending on what type of page you want to design, I don't see the type page of type card here, but maybe it's this one. Yes, the first one is the card. But yeah, you have the ID and the my page, the name, and then we have the caption, another property, and we have the page type, another property, card page ID. This is for the list pages and designates the page that will be opened when on a list page users decide to drill into one record. Source table and source table view, these are two very important properties, and they designate the table that's behind the page. The page supports a specific entity, and the source table will tell us which entity, which database table it supports. The source table view represents a sorting and a filtering of the data from the table. So for example, if I want to see all sales orders, I would have to go through I would have to have the source table view a filter for document type equal order. Editable is a boolean, and it's another property and designates if the users can edit the page. It can be obviously for the list pages, editable should be false, by default is false. For card pages is true, but this editable at the page level trumps editable at the control level. So if you have a field in the general fast tab that you want to protect and make it editable equal false, you can do that, but the editable at the page level will supersede the one at the control level. Insert allowed, modified allowed, delete allowed, these are all properties that designate if we can, via that page, if we can insert, modify, or delete records. For example, for setup pages, because there is only one record, you might want to have the insert allowed and delete allowed properties to false, set to false. Data access intent, that is another property that is available for pages, reports, and queries, and can have the value read only or read write. Read only is a hint for the server to redirect the connection to a secondary replica, a read-only replica of the database. This is very specific to APIs that are used only for GET requests. You can have the data access intent equal read-only, and at that point, when you do a GET request for that API, the server will redirect you to a copy of the database that's used for getting the data, not inserting the data or modifying the data. So that was page properties. Let's move on into page layouts. Card and list pages have two areas, content area and factbox area. We saw it before, and we see it here, area content and area. We can also have area factbox. So if we type area, we can see that the values available are fact boxes. Role center page has only one area, role center area, and it will have this scaffolding in the role center pages. Fields are for card pages. Fields are grouped in fast tabs. For list pages, we use repeater control. We can also use fixed layout, where you can lay the information in rows and columns. Next, we sometimes want to link a main page to a sub page, and in this case we are defining parts. And if we want to on a main page, let's say on a document page, we have a section for part, and to link the part to the main page, we use sub page link, and it has this format: field part page equal to field main page. And we can also use filtering and sorting with sub page view property. Snippets, that's easy. T-page and T-page field if we want to create a page or a field on a page. Control properties, we can have not blank, show mandatory, update propagation, application area, usage category, additional search terms. So not blank, it's false or true. Show mandatory, it's only a visual indication that the field is mandatory, accompanied by a red asterisk. So sometimes you're going to see fields that have a red asterisk. That's because those fields have the show mandatory property. Update propagation property defined at the subpage level, where part portion is defined, and the update propagation can be subpage or both. For example, on the sales order, when on the part page for lines, sales lines, we have update propagation both. Why? Because when we're making a change on a part on one of the lines, sales lines, we might want specific fields or areas of the sales order document to be updated, and that's why we use update propagation equal both. And let's see an example, because that's the best. That's probably 42, and if we search for part, we see the sales lines pointing to the sales order subform, and update propagation is both. We see the same subpage link, document number equal to number. So the order, the document, the sales order document has a field document number, and no, the main page has a field called number, and the line level page, which is the sales suborder subform, has a document number field, and they are connected in the subpage link. All right, let's see. Application area. If application area is equal to all, means all areas, so it will be displayed always. Usage category makes a page report query available in the search for all navigation. None, the page won't appear on the global search. Additional search terms property is for allowing users to type maybe a synonym, just like we saw with the currency page. You could type forex, and then the currencies page will still be found by the system. Let's see, next, rich text editor. We can have now on pages, we can create rich text editor fields, and the way you do it is so you designate a field as a blob field. On the table you define a function save rich text and another function get rich text, and then on the field, on the page, you create a page field for example, for the work description. Work description is a very good example of how you can have a more complex field where you can edit text with rich text editor or not. But work description is a very good example on how you can handle less than simple controls for editing information. You see here multi-line true, application area all, and if we want a rich text control, we use the property extended data type equal rich content. And the way we save the information is with save rich text function, which is on the table level defined, but on the page we have the one after get record, which will pull the data stored in the blob field from the database into the control, into the big text control or text control on the page. There is a link here. Use the built-in rich text editor to enter data. That is in Microsoft Learn on the lesson for pages. Scanning barcodes, we have another extended data type, this time not rich content but barcode. If you want to be able to scan a barcode, use this link, learn.microsoft.com, training modules, work with pages, scan barcodes. And we have the last part here, actions. That's a little bit longer, but in essence you have 4 areas for defining actions: navigation, creation, reporting, and processing. Each action has an ID, a caption, and an image. Let's go here in the actions. Actions section, we see different areas: navigation, actually processing, reporting, and promoted. define the way you promote actions, define actions in the processing area, and in the promoted area add action ref to the new action. Maybe we have an example here, but before that let's run through a few more properties for actions. Run page link, run page mode, run page view, and show us let's see a run page view. So for a warehouse pick lines, we have run page view for filtering, for sorting, but the main thing is run object. What we're running when we click on the button, what's connecting, what fields are connecting the new page, that's going to be rendered when we click on the page, on the button, and how we link it, which fields are connecting the new page and the one that contains the button. And run page view is for sorting. So run page link connects the two sources tables of, and we see here an example for run page object and run page link. Run page mode can have the values view, edit, create. So for example, on the contact card, you have an action, create opportunity, and if we look at the run page mode is create. So when you know you want to create a new entity, then you can do that with run page mode equal create, and you also can direct the system to execute the opportunity card, and you're connecting it with run page link. Run page view is for add sorting to your action. So for example, purchase prices on the item card, you have action 86, purchase prices. If you want to order the prices, purchase prices by item number, then use the run page view. Show us property, show groups of actions, a standard group of or split button. Some in the latest version of Business Central, we have a split button action where the split button action is going to have a default action. For example, post is the default action, but if you click on the arrow down, you can see other actions. So that's show us split button or a standard group. You can also create a Power Automate action with a custom action, and it has the custom action type equal flow. You have the flow ID and the environment, because we have Power Automate, we can have flows in different environments. And there is a link here on how to create a custom action, Power Automate action. And that's it. This is what Microsoft Learn contains in terms of creating new pages, creating pages or managing pages in Business Central. I hope this helps, and if you want to learn more, please subscribe to my channel. There will be weekly videos. I took a break during the Christmas time and New Year's, but we're in 2025, and we have to get ready for that certification exam. So join me for future videos. Thank you, and have a great new 2025. Thanks.